Hello everybody, Robert Rambles here, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. We're going to pick up right where we left off, and we're going to take the next main scenario quest here. That's Sea Sloth Severin and his lot, never around when there's work to be done. I'd sooner hire you for the sake of getting things done, but then the rapscallions would never learn. Round them up and let them know that Stelrian would like a word, and don't take no for an answer. So we're just looking for these workers who are slacking off, I guess? Gurkant is eyeing fertile new fields for Summerford farms, but pests perturb his plows. Blast. How's a botanist supposed to accomplish field work without a field to work in? Washed up pirates are well and good when you want a field pillaged and plundered, but not when you need it plowed. A lone horticulturalist such as myself hardly strikes fear in the hearts of monsters, but your gait is such that I believe you might. I'd be much obliged if you could rid the field of some mandragoras. With 5 fewer of the sprouting critters roaming about, I'm sure I could return to my work. Alright, so we have to find slacking workers and slay mandragoras. I don't think we need to worry about that right now. He's clearly not the worker that we're looking for. Are any of you people slacking off? No. Oh, they're gonna have big markers over their heads, apparently. Really easy to find. Work? Ha! Can't work when me hands are full lifting this mug. You know, I'd wager me last gill you'd never guess what I'm drinking. It's probably not coffee. Well, you're right about the swill part. I reckon it might be worth a day of doing Starian's chores if it'll afford me a taste of proper grog. Okay, well we all need our own form of inspiration. 1 out of 5. Aha. How am I supposed to work on an empty stomach? Go on, have a guess at what I had for breakfast. Breaded sticks? What? Gods, how'd you know? It's my breath, ain't it? Probably smells as wooden as the food tasted. But I know why you're here. I'd just as soon get some real food in me. But I ain't one to reject a summons from the captain. Well, it's nice to see you can be reasonable. So the rest of these guys, they're not in town. They're going to be just out and about, I guess. Which is good. It gives us time to take care of some of these tiny mandragoras. We've got a few different mobs. I'm hoping that our damage over time abilities can kind of step up here. There we go. Not too bad. It's that AoE attack that Carbuncle always opens with. If there are too many mobs around, he's gonna pull everything in sight. It's a little bit annoying, but so far it hasn't gotten us killed yet. Well, we only need one more. If we attack this guy, we're probably going to get both of them. So let's just be prepared for that, I suppose. And now we just have to worry about finding the rest of the slacking workers. I'm Severin. You the old man's errand girl now. Tell my dear old captain not to wet his britches. I'll be along. Oh, and just so we're clear, I don't care for landlubbers. Go find the chocobo you rode in on and ride on out. Okay. Really happy to see us. Oh, they're on the other side. Well, it makes more sense than them being down in the riverbed. So, Stawian sent you. And what do you reckon I say to that? I don't know what you might say. Hopefully you're gonna say you're gonna get your ass going here. Damn right, didn't get where I am by taking gruff from any glorified gardeners. But I suppose I could see what he wants to get him off my back. Yeah, that would be the sensible thing to do. This guy is like hiding on the ledge here. Axes were made for splitting skulls, not stumps. You know what I did in my sailing days? Well? You bet your bosom I did. Aye, those were the days. I reckon now I'll have to be satisfied taking my axe to the trees. Yeah, probably. Healthier for you. Level 6 fates. Is somebody even working on it, or... Yeah, we can get in on this. It's a little bit below our level, but... Okay, well that didn't last very long, but it was worth some quick experience at least. How about that? You've already done more than that whole lot of slothful sea slugs combined. If only they spent half as much time proving their worth as they do talking about it. Alright, that's all he's got for us. You continue to impress. All but Severin are accounted for. It's no fault of yours, he squirmed out. I've let that worm wriggle through my fingers more times than I can count. But rest assured, the next time I see him, I'll put him squarely in the dirt, where all such worms belong. Alright, well that's level 10. What did we learn here? Assault 1, Downburst. Orders Carbuncle to execute Downburst. Deals wind damage with potency of 100 to the target and enemies near it. Can't do that, huh? And, okay. Well, that's fine. I guess we'll just have to press that ability and see how that goes. Stowian worries his sack of oranges will not reach a Lethagran checkpoint as planned. Pains me to say, but all the gil in the world can't buy loyalty. There are some, like you, who can be trusted, but then there are others. Until now, I've had no choice but to rely on that charlatan Severin, even though I am full aware he's been doing shady deals behind my back. More than once, I've heard tell of improper trading with goblins. I wouldn't be the least surprised if that were happening right now. Not a bell ago, a sack of oranges vanished, as did Severin. I want you to find and confront the bastard for me. I'm sure there's wrongdoing afoot, so be sure to doubt anything that comes out of his mouth. Okay, so find him and then slash doubt him to victory. Alright, let's head basically directly south. Ooh, we can pick up the Chocobo Porter. Start collecting those travel points. Alright. Out we go. 10:44 p.m. Eorzea time. Nothing much I can do about the fact that it's dark. I hope it's not too dark. Let me know about the nighttime settings. I can turn the gamma up a little bit, because I know YouTube darkens things typically. These goblins are passive, so that's good. Hello, goblins. We haven't encountered a lot of aggressive enemies yet, honestly. Well, there he is. We'll talk to him first, and I guess we just slash doubt. Bloody hells. I'm up the straight without a paddle. Okay. What's this now? Stowian sent you for the oranges. Huh, so the old bugger had known all this time. Ah, what does it matter now anyway? Listen, you're one of those goody-goody adventurer types, right? Go rescue me mates from those double-dealing goblins. They're just over yonder by the bonfire. Those goblins looked chill as hell. We just saw those guys. We said, what's up? We didn't see your buddies there. Did that do anything? Okay, no, it didn't do anything because he actually gave us a quest. we actually do have to go save his henchmen, who are not by the same bonfires as I thought. Okay, my bad. I should have looked up. They said to question everything he said. I figured he would say more than one thing that we'd have to question, you know? Sometimes, like, Carbuncle seems like a no-show. All I'm gonna get to do is dodge this. There we go. Assuming that maybe more will confront us? Sven sent you? Ha. The way he flew out of here, I was sure he'd sold us down the river. No more goblins, really? If you hadn't come, my dodo would have been cooked. Cooked dodo. I don't get it, but okay. I owe you one. Would have gotten away myself if not for Severin shoving me aside. Yeah, he seems like a real buddy. A real buckaroo. Alright, let's see what he has to say for himself now that we've freed his friends. You saved me mates, and for that I owe you. Suppose I should be ashamed I couldn't clean up my own mess. But a pirate knows no shame. I've no qualms about going back on my word. I'm only giving you this sack because I like the cut of your jibe. Take it to Osine and send him my regards. Okay, so we'll pick up the sack of oranges. Small beginnings, guys. Small beginnings. In the beginning, we deliver oranges. One day, we'll defeat empires. Long forgotten by history. Swear, it's gonna happen, but today we have oranges to deliver, and that's perfectly alright. Oranges? Anybody? What have we here? A delivery from Summerford Farms, and as scheduled? Ha, there's a first time for everything. Well, look at that. Not a single one missing either. About the only things not here are those bagmen, and I don't miss them one bit. Here's Starian's payment in full. With you, I can trust it'll reach him. Does that mean that we're just going back? It sure seems that way. I'm gonna grab this side quest because I'm gonna do it in my own time. Whoops. But like I've said before, for the purposes of these videos, we're going to focus on the main story quests, and I'm going to take care of side quests and do some other things in my own time that will just help us level a little bit more smoothly. But I want the playthrough to be focused on the main story quest and the class quests, because there's going to be tons and tons of side quests that are all optional at this point. Our carbuncle likes to vanish like quite a bit on his own without really being prompted to do so. Not sure what his deal is or why he behaves that way, but he does seem to. I do kind of like how he stays behind us and doesn't crowd the camera. That's one of my issues with pet classes in some games, is they have the pet like right near you, and the pet is usually typically large, and it just kind of crowds the camera. And I don't really care for that, especially while just traveling around. I like to get a good look at things. And Carbuncle stays quite a ways back. And I appreciate that distance. Back in one piece. That's a relief. How did you fare? Well, we delivered the oranges. Long story short. Ah, this is what I was aiming for. Looks to be all I was owed, alright. Though, I'd be telling you false if I claimed I had not held out more hope for Severin. I was even willing to overlook the skimming off the top, but to sell us all short in favor of those godforsaken goblins. You do well to mind yourself around that two-gill cheat. If he'd leave his own mates for dead, there's no telling what he'd do to you. Yeah, we kind of got that idea. Alright, we're going to take the Grimoire. And we'll get that equipped right away. And who has our next quest? Gurkant does. Loam maintenance. Gurkant seeks fertile soil to improve the yields of his newly plowed fields. Do they all rhyme like the descriptions, or are they always like some kind of play on words? Or rhyme? So far they've either rhymed or been some kind of play on words. Blast. At this rate the crops will never be ready for harvest. If only we had black loam. Just a bit could send our stocks soaring. I'll bet Rotwida knows where you might find some. Perhaps you might pay her a visit in the orchard. They kill me with some of these names. That one I think I read correctly, and then shocked myself that I had managed to somehow read it correctly. But they really make the names as painful as they can sometimes. Or tweet. Bro, I just don't even know. There's just gotta be a better name. There's gotta be a better naming scheme than what they seem to have done here with their syllables and letters. I'm gonna start shortening people's names, like this person's name is now Roe, if I need to refer to them. That Gurkant's got a head of cabbage if he thinks I'm fetching him any black loam. But if you dare to pinch some from the cookpot and then be my guest, just mind you don't get rampled upon by the aurochs that dwell there. Once you've 3 bushels worth, take the black loam to Pfree at Tiller's Rest. He'll know what to do. Here's another example of the name. Pfrewol. Yeah, no, I don't want to say that. Who does? Who would want to pronounce that? No one's brain wants to pronounce words like that. Make it something that looks like it sounds, so that my brain and eyes have a chance of sounding it out phonetically. Just a chance. Alright, we're going this way. I think that the names are something that get better as expansions go by. Same thing with some of the phony accents, or I shouldn't say phony. I guess they can make up any accents they want for their fictional universe. Yeah, the accents kind of start to go away too, I believe. The weird regional dialects that they've given people. And it just makes it easier. Like, it takes some of the flavor away from the overall world building, I understand that, but it just makes the gameplay experience easier and more immersive, in the sense that you're not having to break immersion every time you're confronted with a name that is simply a bunch of letters spilled together, or you have to read through an incomprehensibly fake pirate accent. Is there such thing as a fake pirate accent? Is that kind of an oxymoron? What am I looking for here? I kind of thought I'd be looking for stuff on the ground, but maybe I'm getting it off these aurochs. You know, there's stuff on the ground back there. However, let's take care of the aurochs first, since they are in our way. They look rather impressive. Yeah, that's intimidating. Very cool looking. Yeah, I love the enemy and character design in this game. This guy looks awesome. They're wounded. I almost feel bad for even fighting them, but they're aggressive, so they're gonna pull if I try to just go by them. They're probably aggressive because they're wounded, right? Well, how many do we need? We need 3. Okay, we're gonna have to fight all these guys just to get what we need. Looks like we still got hit by that, so we must not have been out of it in time, or maybe we weren't far enough away. There we go, we got out of it that time. Are these guys respawning already? Jeez. It's a little random. Alright, now we have to take this over this way. Looks like we're taking it to this herbalist cabin over here. Peffrey. His new name is Peffrey. Even the weeds wither and die in this desolate dirt. Alright, well here's some black loam. What do you think about that? But a bit of this black loam ought to change all that. I haven't seen any in ages. Gathering black loam's not for the weak of will, nor the weak of stomach, huh? Oh, don't tell me Gurkant and Roe neglected to mention where the black loam comes from. Well, surely you figured it out on your own from the cloying stench. Yeah, we know where fertilizer comes from, buddy. Well, why dwell on who misled whom about what? What matters is that your efforts have brought us the black loam, and we can expect a bountiful harvest as a result. Thank you. Yes, no problem at all. Let's pick the thing that we can equip. They're only slightly better. I'm almost tempted to take the gold, but we'll take the item. It's gonna replace our mittens with something that lets us see our hands, so that's not a terrible thing to have happen. Plowshares to swords. Peffrey needs stolen farm tools recovered. Confounded pirates. They know nothing of tillin', only killin'. Stealin' our shovels to melt and forge into axes of all things. They're biting the hand that feeds 'em, the mangy mongrels. I'd love to teach those curs a lesson in obedience myself, if I hadn't sworn to Stalrian that I wouldn't fight no more. So I need you to bring back our farm tools, and make sure those dogs reap what they've sown. Yeah, that's fine. We can do that, and it looks like it's not even very far from here. However, we do have our next class quest to pick up, and I want to do that. I want to do that before we move too far, because sometimes they'll put them in a similar area. And if we can get two birds with one stone, we're going to do that. So let's head back to Limsa and see. We'll use the Aethernet, and we'll just go see what our class trainer has for us. Acting Guildmaster Thu wishes to assess the improvement of your Arcanist skills. Yes, Realm, it's time for your next lesson, or the time for your next lesson is upon us. You are keeping well, I trust. Taking the occasional brisk walk, one cannot form sound thoughts if one fails to maintain a sound body. Now, assuming you have been following Cathia's instructions, you should be ready to face the more dangerous threats found in western Lenotia. I speak of roselings and wild jackals, and yes, I would have you vanquish 3 of each. 'Tis the perfect sample size. The first acts as a preliminary test of case, the second to test your hypothesis, the third to perfect the tactics you've devised. It's not a bad formula. Speaking of which, I trust your strategy will consist of more than simply flinging ruin all over and over again. You are not the novice you once were, and your skills in the field ought to reflect that. If you find yourself wanting for other approaches, consider the efficacious combination of ruin and bio. When timed appropriately, you can deal a crippling blow to your opponent. I like that they actually try to teach you how to use your abilities in the dialogue of the quest. The jab at people who would just cast ruin over and over again. It's interesting. They instruct you to use bio because it's an instant cast. That's cool. Alright, and so where are these at? Probably not anywhere near the same area. Yeah, I actually can teleport us there whenever we want. It would cost us quite a bit of money though. But I did run out there and attune. I think I have also attuned us to Alport. Yeah, I have. So it is a little bit of a ways away. I think when we come back, we'll start back in middle Lenosia. We'll do the quests that we have there, and then we'll head up into western Lenosia, and we'll take on this Arcanist quest. This is going to be a good place for us to take a little bit of a break in our guild hall here. Let me know what you guys think of the episode in the comments below. I'm interested to hear your thoughts and opinions on Final Fantasy XIV. As always, thank you so much for being here with me today. Your support means a ton, especially in these crazy times. So stay safe, stay sane, and I hope to see you again real soon. Bye now.